Hey, what's going on, everybody? Glad you tuned in. In this lesson, we're going to be talking about how to build chords, how to play chords on the bass. So stay tuned if you want to learn how to do that. Here we go. All right, guys. So first things first, we got to figure out what a chord is. So the definition of a chord is 3 or more notes played at the same time to create harmony, right? So not 2 notes, not 1 note, not any less than 3 notes. So don't get it confused with an interval, right? Don't get it confused with that, because people kind of confuse that. I see a lot of bass players confuse the chord with an interval with a chord, but it's not the same thing. It's 3 or more notes. All right. So we got to get that out the way. We have to know what it is to be able to play it. So what I said before, what an interval was 2 or more notes. Well, not 2 or more notes, but what an interval is 2 notes. I'll put it up on the screen. 2 notes. All right. The distance between 2 notes is an interval. And I said before, don't get that confused with a chord. So the interval, I don't know if you've heard somebody or bass players do that kind of thing. Those are 2 notes. It might sound like a chord, it might seem like a chord, but those are only 2 notes. So a chord would be, so those are 3 notes. I'm playing 3 notes at the same time to create that harmony. So that's a actual chord. So I'm adding just 1 more note on top of an interval. All right, so now let's strip it down to the basics. Let's start with the chord. I'm gonna, let's do G. I'm gonna do G. I'm gonna be in the key of G today. So we'll build a chord from scratch. So the way you build a chord is you think about the scale that you're playing, right? Think about a major scale. We can build a chord easily from that. So major scale, think of G major scale. I'm going to be playing on the G up here just because the lower frequencies sound a little bit muddier when you're playing chords on them, especially on bass. I think that's one of the reasons why people don't like playing, they say that bass players shouldn't play chords on a bass. But anyway, I'm going to play it up here in this register. So I'm going to be playing a G major 7 chord. All right, going to go from the scale. I just got it from the scale. So let's play the G major scale. We're going to be playing the 1, 3, and the 7. All right, in this case, we're going to be playing 1, 3, 7. First note, third note, 7th note. All right, we were to break that apart from the G major scale. First note plays the bass note, right? Second finger plays the bass note. First finger plays the major third. Third finger plays the major 7. All right, sometimes you can add the 5 in there, but for this case, we're going to leave the 5 out. All right, for these chords that we're going to be doing, we're going to leave the 5 out. And in a later lesson, we're going to be showing you how to incorporate that 5, the 5th note of the scale. Sometimes it's a little bit overpowering, but there's a way to do it, especially on bass, and it sounds amazing. It sounds very melodic, and I'll show you how to do that in a later lesson. But we'll just be going with the 7th and the 3rd for now. In this case, so major 7 chord, we can get that from that. You'll probably see it. I'll write it up here. It'll be G, M, A, J, and then it'll say 7, right? G major 7. That's what that will look like. So that's how you build that chord. 1, 3, 7. Let's do the same thing. Another popular chord that you would hear is a dominant chord. You hear a lot in blues, a lot in jazz, a lot of different types of music. You hear a lot with a 5 chord, right? So that's based off our Mixolydian scale. If you don't know yet, go check out the modes course. All right, just with a flat, it's a major 7 scale with a flat 7. All you have to do is just flat the 7. So in that case, so if we're going from a major 7 to a dominant 7 chord, there's only 1 note we need to move. Or we're just flattening the 7. All right, so now we have a completely different chord. Now we have a G7 chord. So from a G major 7 to a G7 is the difference of 1 note. That's it. 1 note, just 1 note. All right, so just know that. So we have 2 chords already that we made up of. We use the major scale for the major 7 chord, and we use the Mixolydian scale for the dominant 7 chord. All right, so another chord that might be popular that you would hear, not might be, but there's two scales that you would need to know. First off is the major and minor scale. And the same thing here is a major and minor chord. All right, so we'll figure out the minor chord. So we're going to go based on a Aeolian scale. You can go based on the Dorian scale too as well, and I'll show you that. I think I showed that in the modes course too, but I'll show you a little bit here. So we're going from the dominant 7 chord. So we have same thing, same fingering. We have second finger plays the bass, the root note. First finger plays a major third. The third finger plays a flat 7. All right, so now we're going to go from the minor scale. We're going to find a minor chord. All right, so let's do this. Let's go G minor scale. So we got G minor scale. That's also our Aeolian scale. And I said before we can use a Dorian scale. same scale. The chord will be the same. It's going to be a minor 7 chord, and I'll show you in a minute. So G minor 7 chord. So we take the first note, the third note, right? It's the same thing, like I said before. So if you take the first note and the third note of the Aeolian scale, it's going to be the same thing. First note, third note of the Dorian scale is going to be the same thing. Same thing with the fifth. It's going to be the same thing for both scales. That's why I say you can use either or, either mode. And then the seventh, right? So we have 1, 3, and then seventh for this case that we're going to be playing the chords with. We're going to be playing the 3-note chord, right? And remember, the definition of the chord contains 3 or more notes. So you can have more than 3, but for this case, we're going to be doing 3 notes. All right. So for that position, you see that we have a conflict. We have 2 notes on the same string. We have that G, excuse me. We have the G and then the A sharp on the same string. So we got to move that. We have to move that A sharp. All right. We want to keep our root note the same. So you want to move that A sharp down to the D string, 8th fret. All right. Same note. All right. See that? Now our formation of the chord changes. Right. So we have, I want to play that with my 3rd finger. I want to play the root note with my 3rd finger. We're doing a G minor 7 chord. We're just remember, because we're using a minor scale, G minor 7 chord. All right, now the minor 3rd, that's a minor 3rd, right? And then the minor 7th, right? Minor 7, that's our chord. Sometimes you can kind of position it a different way, the fingering. Sometimes I'll do it differently. Sometimes I'll do 3rd finger for the root, first finger for the minor 3rd, for the minor 7th. I'll do my 4th finger, and then sometimes I'll even do this. I'll do 2nd finger, just like we did for the 2 previous chords. 2nd finger for the root, minor 3rd for the 1st finger, and minor 7th with the 3rd finger. All right, so if you notice, let's go back to the previous chord before that, the dominant 7 chord that we did. All right, did you notice that switch? What we just did, what did I just do? From that chord to that chord. Watch close. All right, just that one note changes the entire chord. All right, so we have we have a dominant 7 chord, and then to get to a minor 7 chord, we flat the 3rd. All right, we had a major 3rd first, but now we flat it to get a minor 3rd. All right, so the 3 chords that we've gotten already, we have a major 7. This is all in G. G dominant 7. All right. G minor 7. You see how close those chords are? How easy it is to get to one chord to the next? All right, so we have major, dominant, minor. All right, very simple chords. That's how you build the chords. All right, they come in, they're derived from a lot of the scales that you would play. In the modes course, I go over a lot of the scales that you can play and a lot of the chords that you can play on top of the scale. So say, for instance, we're playing, I did the modes in C. So just for instance, I did C major 7 along with the Ionian mode. I did a D minor 7 chord along with the Dorian mode, right? That also works for the Aeolian mode. The Phrygian mode, the E minor 7 also works. It's the same chord. All right, so these are the same shapes. If you look at it, it just all connects together. So if you're looking to build the chords, all I'm doing is taking the 1st note, 3rd note, and the 7th note. All right. There's other instances where you can play the 1st, 3rd, 5th, and the 7th, or the 1st and the 5th, and there's different combinations. But I won't get into that right now. I just wanted to show you just how to build the chords just from scratch, literally just from scratch, taking a scale, stripping it apart, and figuring out what the root note is, what the 3rd is, and what the 7th is. In this case, we have root, major 3rd, major 7th. All right, so root, major, major. All right, here we have a root, major 3rd, flat 7, right, for the dominant 7 chord. And then here we have root, minor 3rd, minor 7th for the minor scale. Makes sense, right? For minor scale will be minor 3rd, minor 7th. All right, for dominant scale it's a little different. You have a major and a minor kind of going on there at the same time. That's why it's sounds that's that weird sound. But anyway, just messing around with just some dominant 7 chords. That's how you would hear it in music in the case of a song or something like that. It's real bluesy, real jazzy almost. But anyway, so those are just 3 chords. I just wanted to show you that right now. This is just only the first part. Don't worry about it. This is the first part. There's plenty of other chords. There's other different demonstrations that I have to do that I played that I've got requested to actually giving a demonstration or a tutorial on what I did. I was playing a 5-string too, and there's some other tips that I'm going to do on 5-string bass as well, that you can play chords and the advantages that you have playing chords on a 5 strings too. It's same thing on a 4-string. You can still get the same tones, same sounds and everything like that, but on a 5-string it's a little bit different. You have another lower string to work with, and I'll show you some tips on that as well. So if you guys are interested, stay tuned. This is only the beginning. All right, this is just the beginning of how to build chords, and you'll see how all of this stuff kind of connects together. Yeah, so I guess that's it. I guess that's it. All right, guys, so if you like this lesson, make sure you give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed already, I'll put a subscribe link button here, thing, whatever that is. All right, and then I'll put a link here to the website where there's tons more like this, so much more material and so much more access to me that you can have on the website if you sign here. A 3-day free trial, try it out, see if you like it. Yeah, just click here for that. Anyway, and there'll be some more lessons just like this here, so you can go ahead and watch all day long if you want to. But anyway, make sure your notes are coming out clean, clear, and precise. And until next time, I'll see you.